Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Selena, the series. And this is a new series from Netflix about Tejano, singer, and, well, get to that in a second, but Selena. And this, I guess I needed to check my expectations going into the show, because I thought this was just like a mini-series, like this was it, and there's apparently a second part to this, so I'm reviewing the first 9 episodes that came out on Netflix already. And you kind of go in expecting this show to be about Selena, and you really getting to know who this woman was. And you do get pieces of that, but honestly, most of this show is about her family. And it never gets deep enough. And I don't know if that's like saved for, I guess, part 2 here, and this is really just setting up her and her family. But you never really get deep into who Selena is. Or, like, you spend, honestly, more time with other characters than you do with her in this show. And I thought that was an interesting choice. And in general, this show is entertaining to watch. It's basically like a road trip family drama. It's like kind of like a Partridge Family kind of thing. It's about a family of like musical group. And you have the parents, the dad who is the one putting this all together, played by Ricardo Chivera, who does a really fine job. He has presence, he has a sternness about him, really whipping his family into shape and doing what was best for his family. And in general, the cast is really good. And of course you have Christian Serratos who plays Selena, and she's great. She just has this charisma that's just flowing out, and she brings a lot of energy and just an endearing presence to the show. And I wanted more of her, which you would have expected about a show about Selena. But you don't get more of her, you get more of her family, like her brother and her sister. And I feel like they're not as interesting, and they never spend enough time really digging deep into these characters. They spend so much time going through the nuts and bolts of this family band coming together. And they spend 8 episodes, which, yes, there's some, like, you have the peaks and you have the troughs here, but, like, you don't spend a whole lot of time building up a whole lot of tension. It's a lot of just positivity and things going right for them and having fun, and, you know, there might be a small roadblock here, but by the end of the episode, you're done. And then the 9th episode, which is the last episode, all of a sudden there's all of this tension between these members of this family. It all comes to a head, and I feel like the pacing, they drew out so much of this, and that tension should have been spread out throughout those episodes where you felt like something was building up to this point. And yes, they lay some groundwork, but like you never feel it until this episode. And this last episode feels like they're trying to cram in so much tension to like completely shift gears with the show and where it's going to be going in part 2. And if it weren't for the cast and for just the relatability of the story being told, this probably wouldn't be as entertaining to watch. It's pretty shallow, and it doesn't really go as in depth, and I felt like we never got to really know who Selena was, and in a deep, meaningful way. And I hope to get more of that come the second part of the series as it progresses, but as of now, I had a fine time watching Selena. I enjoyed the show so far. But is this really wowing me? Is this a great biopic? Not quite. But I think it's a nice, enjoyable addition to Netflix's vast, ever-growing library. But those are my thoughts on Selena, the series, part 1. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.